Howdy y'all, and welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time we play a little Minecraft. Alright, I am trying to figure out what is going wrong with my redstone here. I thought I had it all fixed, and then obviously nothing ever works for me. Okay. That is now off, so if I put this in here, you're good. So now, if I flip this switch... Yes, alright. Hey, these aren't out. I don't know. I'm gonna figure this out. Okay. So this is the problem I'm having is I gotta break that. I need to get a sticky piston in here. Like so. Okay. All right. And then I actually need another row of pistons here. If I can get these in here. So yeah, what the issue is that for some reason my pistons don't want to. Skeleton. My pistons don't want to go where I need them to be, and that's not the main issue. The main issue is that they don't want to extend and contract like they're supposed to. Is there a reason we stop giving me health? So my plan... You know what, dude? I am trying to work here. So my plan is hopefully to get all this to do what it's supposed to and stop fighting me. Okay. So, now... Alright, I gotta tear these out. So the way this should work is that only the bottom pistons should extend, and everything above that should just be where I intend it to be until I flip the other lever. Because what I wanted to do is I wanted to push the creatures off when this is running. I don't remember what side this is supposed to come around from, though. So I guess it doesn't really matter to me. Oops, fell right in a hole. Okay, so you can't be there. Obviously. So if I put these up here, I think I'm going to need one more... whatchamacallit? Hey, repeater. There we go. That's the word. I don't think this is going to be strong enough to trigger all these, but let's go down and flip the next lever. Alright, so the current configuration is all the walls out. With the walls out, the mobs will fall and take damage but not die. And then I'm pretty sure they're still not working correctly. I need to get down a notch here. So you can see that these are extended, those are extended. And then for whatever reason, these don't go back. What about this side? Yeah, there's not enough oomph, I guess. Because that is not changing at all. Okay. But this here, coming straight from the repeater, maybe is enough power to do this. Maybe. Okay, so those are still stuck out. You're back. Now you're out. And you're back. So I don't know why these refuse to work. So I can't have them stuck out. Because that's just weird. But I think this bottom row only... This bottom row is sending the power out. I mean, I can just move it back a row here. It's not a big deal, I guess. And we will just, we will just remove you from the equation then, if you're not gonna work the way I need it to. Okay, and then pop this corner, and we'll pop this corner. Alright. Okay, you worked, and you also have worked. Okay. Alright, that's not what I wanted to do, but I will go with... Oh, that hurt. So now, one wall should just stay open, and anything that falls on that side will just fall to their death. And then the other... Yep, and then those blocks will keep pushing mobs out. So now we flip this lever. And that should release the water. Which should push everybody off the edge. I can't tell if that's too much water or just enough. It's gotta be just enough. So we're still gonna get some guys that haven't taken any damage, but it'll be way less than it was before. which is my goal, was to improve the number of guys who are... Maybe I should just let them fall and take damage and just stand up there. That might be better than having to constantly fight people who haven't taken any damage, because that's annoying. Alright, let's do that. Let's do that, and then this will be done. So I'm going to go back up. I'm going to re-engage the lower level, but not the upper level, because the upper level is just sticking out. Or maybe I should just leave the upper level sticking out. It's like 6 one way, half dozen the other, you know? Where is my repeater? Oh, there you are. I need you. Okay, and then that way everything takes damage falling. Oops, I want to look through here. So now all the walls should be out, so everything takes damage falling, and then the pistons will push everything off of those 3 walls, but not the middle one because that's not working. Look at all those. Although some guys are just walking off on their own. So maybe this will work. Now we just got to get rid of the guys who haven't taken any damage. Might still get the occasional guy who doesn't take damage. I don't know how the pistons and all that going in and out might catch somebody and just push them over to the side before they actually hit the ground, so... Yeah, I think that's working. I think that's working. Alright. So now, if I flip the levers the other way, people should just fall to their deaths. Or fly down on a chicken. Whatever. Yeah, alright, sweet. So I'm going to call this done. Done. I can only assume there's a glitch in the redstone stuff that's stopping those pistons from working, because it doesn't make any sense to me that 3 of the 4 sides work and they all have the same redstone. So whatever that is, it is. Alright, so let me unload this stuff, and then I'm probably going to run out and do some more maps, because I do have some more areas I would like to hit up with maps. Which means I need more compasses. Okay. All right. And then we're going to do map. And a map. Okay, and then we're going to make up a bunch of paper. And then we're going to throw some stuff in the river. I guess I could have melted that down. I guess that's all. Well, I don't need those either. Okay. So now, what I want to do is I would like to get this map here, and we'll take this map here. But let's start with this map. So this map goes here, so I need to be on the Yep, I just need to go this way until I show up on this map. And then we'll be good. So yeah, so it's been pretty quiet. Well, no, it's not been quiet, but I haven't done much. Well, yesterday, anyways. I've been playing Star Control Origins quite a bit since it came out, and finally beat it yesterday. Pretty fun. I um, I had hoped that it would be a more robust game than it was. It was kind of on the simplistic side of things, unfortunately. Um, and so I had really thought that, there we go. I had really thought that it was going to be um, more complex than it was. It's pretty simple. You've got a ship, and I did not care for the combat. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. Um, it's but you got a ship, a spaceship, and this you're captain of the first whatever ship. I don't remember what it was. And there's a signal on one of the planets in the solar system. Well, actually, one of the moons of Saturn, maybe, or something. I forget which planet it was orbiting to start with, and or not orbiting, but crashed on. And so you go out and you go to the moon, and then you've got a lander. You send the lander down. The lander part also not that great. Uh, it wasn't terrible. I did enjoy it um, more than the ship combat. Uh, the ship combat was just ridiculous. I I don't know. It was like slow asteroids. Okay. Now I don't even know what map this is. This was I need to go this way, right? This is the map behind the house, I think. So I need to go this way until I show up on this map, and then I need to go the other way to see where this other map goes. So you find an alien, and the alien's like, "Oh, we were trying to help you, but we got shot down by the bad guys, and um, we can't leave until we can't leave because our ship got broken into parts, and we need you to go get the parts and bring them back, and then we can leave. And we don't want to be here when the bad guys show up because the bad guys are horrible and they will kill us." And so you go around your couple planets. I think like part of it was on Mars and part of it was on one of the moons of Neptune or Uranus. Um, but anyways, so you collect those parts and then they give you a hyperdrive. So now you're the only human ship capable of interstellar flight. And so you are instructed to go out and find out what's going on. And then you get attacked by the bad guys of the game. And And so then after that, it's a fairly simple game where you fly to different stars, and each star's got. I never ran into a star that didn't have at least one planet. I don't think. And so every star's got planets, and then you have your lander and several landers. I don't know how many landers I got blown up over the course of the game, but so you're going along with the lander, and the uh, some of the planets are corrosive, some of the planets are hot, some of the planets have bad winds, making it harder to land on the planet. Some of the planets have creatures, although they weren't much of an issue. Some of the planets have robots, that was a little more difficult. Some of them have like crazy turrets everywhere. I hated those planets. You didn't have to go to them, but every planet's got these little glowy spots on the ground that are um, resource collection points. And so you go and you touch them, and then you collect resources from that spot. And it's automatic. You just drive over it basically. And there's a few upgrades. I think there's like 8. I can't remember. I think that was full out. Maybe not. Oh no. Do maps go out farther than I thought they did? I'm pretty sure I just extended this map out farther than the rest of my map wall because I thought maps stopped at level 3. Oh man. I've got to redo my map wall. Or I got to start a new map wall. Well, I can't start a new map wall with this map, can I? This map is useless to me. Map. Map 2. Map 3. No, that doesn't seem right. That's a, that's the same thing I just did with this one, right? No, it's not. Maps totally go out one farther than I thought they did. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, you need to come with me. And so yeah, so it was and then your ship has got upgrades. That's one thing I did not like was I love tech trees. I love a game where you can upgrade things, but the upgrades in this game were ridiculous. And I did not care for the upgrades that were available, and I wish there'd been a little more detail given. It felt like a phone game. Honestly, it felt like a mobile game, and I wish there had been more, especially since I've been waiting like 2 years for it to come out. I wish there had been some more effort put into it, and it kind of made me laugh when the top credit was the writer, because it had such a simplistic and kind of goofy storyline. I mean, I didn't really play the other Star Control games, but I had, there are people who love those games, and so I was expecting. Um, I guess what I was hoping was it was going to be like uh, a single ship collecting resources and alien technology to place on the ship, set in something like Master of Orion universe, but instead it was kind of a cartoony universe. Like uh, the aliens that find you are slimy, so and they love to hug humans, and so there's a lot of jokes about hugging humans and how nobody wants to be their friend and stuff like that. And there's another alien species that kind of look like a squid, and all they talk about is fish. And so I think I would have liked. I mean, it had an all right storyline. I guess I just would have liked the silliness toned down a bit. But the upgrade system, there was like one upgrade slot for a sensor. Now I did not go everywhere and find everything, but I only ever found one sensor upgrade. Uh, you know, and I covered. I mean, I completed every quest that I found. Um, and like I made friends with all the aliens that ever showed up in the game. Oh, except the three aliens you can't really be friends with, I don't think, or four. Um, and so I don't know. I don't know. One sensor upgrade, but there's a slot on your ship for sensor upgrades, and then there were these there there were there was a spot for um, I think they called them impulse. There was a spot for impulse engines, which are the ones you use in a solar system. There was a spot for hyperdrives, which you use outside of a solar system, and there was a spot for fuel tanks. Then there were green slots, which were used to upgrade your ship's abilities, like how many shields they got, how many um, crew slots they have, things like that. There were only about 8 of those, and then there were like 8 yellow slots, which were all of them were there were only like 5 upgrades for the yellow slots, but there were like 8 yellow slots. I did not understand that. Um, and like like shields, right? For example, there was deflector shield and deflector shield 2, and that was it the entire game. 2 deflector shield upgrades. And then you also had fleet upgrades, which affected your other ships. Another part of the game that didn't really make any sense to me was you could have a fleet of ships. And I know like one of the upgrades was like I didn't understand if I ever needed to have it, but it was a green upgrade and I didn't have room for it because I had deflector 2, fleet deflector, and fleet deflector 3, but I never saw a fleet deflector 2. Uh, I got a heat shield 3, um, but I don't think I found better than 2 for corrosive for the lander. Right at the beginning of the game, you get a laser for the lander, and you never get an upgrade for it. Um, I found armor 2, but I didn't find armor 1. So it was really bizarre, and I would have liked a little more robustness to the upgrades, maybe more upgrade slots, maybe better weapons. The weapons in the game were a little disappointing. Um, uh, like missiles were the best weapon I had, and they had terrible tracking. And so, if you've ever seen or played the original Asteroids game, combat was like that. And so, uh, like, I get maybe you're trying to make more realistic style combat, and so, in space, it's all about um, there's not really a lot of friction going on in space, so if you go in a direction, you're going to continue in that direction. Although there was enough friction in the game that you would stop going in that direction. There was just like, for a while, you would go in that direction. And for the most part, I did all combat with my main ship. You could get a fleet of ships, but you could only use one ship at a time. And and I tried the AI control for ships to let them do the combat for me because I did not like the combat because I thought it would be like automated combat. You just click, fight, and then it tells you the results. But no, no, you have to sit there while the computer controls the bad guy ship and your ship. And I admit I did not re-equip it after the patch that was supposed to fix the AI stuff for combat like that. But watching two ships fly around at opposite ends of the map, just round in circles, not actually fighting each other, was not fun. And when I start rooting for my ship to die so that I can continue the game, is not a good sign. But yeah, combat was kind of lackluster. It was very redundant once you got the hang of it. And the only fight that even gave me real issues didn't happen until way later in the game. And there were um, there were these ships that had these massive beam weapons that would shoot out the front of the ship. And not only that, but even though I had the best engines in the game, their ships were faster than mine, which didn't make any sense to me. Like the biggest ships in the game were faster than my ship with the best engines in the game. Um, and So I would have liked to have gotten one of their engines, apparently, because even though my ship was smaller and should have been more maneuverable, their ship just was so much faster than mine. So it was hard to stay out of the range of their big giant beam weapon that would take up most of the map. And then they would turn their ship so that it would be like a giant blade of energy. But even those, once I got to a point, weren't so bad. And then at the very end of the game, they got these ships that are surrounded by huge shields, and you've got to destroy the shield generators. And that was it took me a while to figure out how to beat those. Um, Although once I did figure out how to beat them, it was very easy. But yeah, it was, I don't know. It could have been better. It reminded me a little bit of old game Nomad I love, but it was not as good as Nomad. Nowhere close to being as good as Nomad. And yeah, that was my Saturday, was playing through the end of that game. Also, I thought this was funny. I had to I I got a couple more stories I want to tell here, and I see we're basically time's up here, but I'm gonna try and get through them quick. So we have the roofers are out, and they've been working on the house on and off for a few days, and they yesterday was nice out, and so they were out in full force yesterday trying to get as much done as they could. And I go upstairs, and I mean, I've been listening to him pound on the roof all day, whatever. Well, I go upstairs, and my mother, she's just throwing fit, a fit about how much noise they're making. Why they gotta always be making so much noise? I just been listening to him pound all day, pound, 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 pound. I wish they'd stop making so much noise. They're driving me crazy. Uh, I'm like, well, I mean, they gotta put the shingles. Like, you hired them to come out and do the roof. What did you think was gonna happen? I don't know, but I didn't expect them to be pounding on the roof all day long. Seriously, this isn't our first go around with having the roof reshingled. I don't understand what your issue is. You knew it was gonna be like this for a day or two while they get all that done. Okay. But yeah, they're back today, but they're not making as much noise. Although they may be gone at this point, and they did do a different building than the one we're in, because we got three buildings basically. They're getting their roofs reshingled. But I could not. She was mad. She was super mad about how much noise they were making. I didn't expect them to be on the roof all day long, pounding all day. The other story I wanted to tell real quick is so we're playing the D&D game, and we're doing it in the Discord, if you know what Discord is. And so uh, our DM is crazy, and he writes at one point when we're setting this up. he writes that uh, he requires us to check in at least once a day if we're going to play this, right? He wrote that. And then if Discord allows you to ping people, basically just a little indicator pops up letting you know there's a message for you. And so he sets up a spot so we can ping people when it's their turn. And so on Monday, well, the last 2 weeks, he has not barely posted anything. And so he said it would be better this week because he is no longer as busy as he had been, and that this week he would be back to posting in our game. And so on Monday, he posted several bits of several paragraphs here and there of what was going on around us and who we were talking to and all that. And I pointed out to the guy yesterday, I'm like, dude, you know that we came to this building on the 12th? And it is 17 days later in real life. We have been here for 17 real life days now. And so Monday he posted a bunch of stuff. And so some of us responded, some of us didn't. And so, I mean, it's not a big deal because he posts like 11 o'clock at night, right? I think the Monday posts were at 10 o'clock at night. And, uh, and so, not everybody can get to it that night. And so then the next evening at like 7 o'clock, he posts just one word, everyone. That's it. That's all he posted. It was a ping. It was a ping to everyone. I guess requesting that they respond to what I had written. Now, I wasn't in a hurry, and it's not like he hadn't gone 2 and 3 days multiple times since we've started this without responding to us. So I didn't know why he was in such a big tizzy to get it in on Tuesday. But so people responded, um, and nothing from him. And then I I was we played an in-person D&D game with him on Wednesday, and he had no problem being there for that and chit-chatting before and afterwards. But still no post in the D&D. And then Thursday, he posted one paragraph that was basically a rehash of some of the stuff he'd said on Monday. And that's it. That's all he posted since Monday was one paragraph and one ping, and the paragraph was a repeat of some of the stuff that was said on Monday. And so here it is. It's Sunday now, and he still has not posted. He posted one paragraph since last Monday. It's been almost a full week, and he wrote one rehash paragraph. And I don't mean a big paragraph. I mean like 6 short sentences. Basically what had happened was we got into this place, and we were talking to the leader of a fort. And she made it sound like she wanted to conscript us into her organization, and I had said I wasn't comfortable aligning myself with anyone currently because we were new to the island and we did not know how the politics run. And so I basically said I don't want to join your military organization because I don't feel like I'm the kind of guy that wants to, take orders and live in a barracks, basically. And so then the thing he said on Wednesday was just, oh, I think you misunderstood me. Here's a rehash of what I've already said. I just want you to work as an independent agent and not, be part of my organization, but rehash what I already said just in a few sentences instead of the multiple paragraphs he did on Monday, and that was it. That's all he's posted this week. And so I sent messages to the other guys. I'm like, dude, where is he at? Like, we did stuff on Wednesday with him, and he didn't say anything about being gone or any of that. And so then we post more messages, and so then I finally we posted in the actual D&D game, asking, well, not asking, but indicating in a snarky manner that he needs to, hey, he needs to check in once a day to make sure we keep up with the game here, Mister. You guys better check in once a day if we're gonna do this. But yeah, I just I don't get it. And then my other D&D game that I play in the same manner, I'm in charge of that one, but none of the players have posted in a week now. So I'm about to ping them. He also said on the Wednesday that we'd better hurry up and let him know what we were doing, because he was going to move on with the storyline if we didn't make up our collective mind. Or no, that was Monday. That was Monday when he said, if you have any more questions, you better ask him now before I move on from this. And then I guess his idea of moving on is to write one paragraph and then stop. And yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. All right. Well, with that, I am not getting off this mountaintop, it doesn't look like. I try not to die here. There's just not a good way down. That'll work. Of course, now I gotta figure out how to get back up the other side here. Alright, well, with that, I'm gonna call it a day. So, click like if you like, subscribe, share, and catch the next one. And I will talk to you later.